What is going on, guys? The Difference is All Gaming with my review of Tokyo Ghoul episode 9, and this episode right here, it was actually pretty good. This episode was enjoyable, and we did get some good story progression throughout the episode, and with some pretty nice and interesting flashbacks as well. So our first flashback, where the episode actually starts off with, it is where Amon, it is where he first joins, the investigators. And now we see that when he first joined, he was nervous, but he was partnered up with Mato, who we all know is obviously dead now. And so pretty much this flashback here, it was kind of like Mato's first time taking on a Ghoul, like when he teamed up with Mato. And we see now that this Ghoul that they were going after, it was actually this like older lady. And I was kind of surprised to see a Ghoul like her was still active, because the only other Ghoul that I know that's like kind of old like her is the guy that like runs the cafe in the present time. So that right there was a bit surprising. But we see now that like right away Amon here, he was definitely kind of surprised to see that Mato with respect such an older woman. And when they go to confront her, you would think that an all-out fight would break out there, but it seems that right there was not part of Mato's plan, as he actually had this woman get him this like doctor's certificate. And apparently, it's like easy for Ghouls to like force these numbers, because the number that she got, it was impossible to determine whether or not she was a Ghoul. So obviously like Mato used this to make her drop her guard, because obviously like if this woman was on guard all the time, there is no way she can mess up and they could like take her out. So when they leave her, we have Amon upset because Mato didn't Amon is upset because Mato did not tell him about that doctor's certificate, and so that way they definitely set him off. And then we have Amon here, like kind of joking, wanted to see his quinque, and we have Amon like getting pretty upset, and he just walks off. But he does come across that older woman once again, and we see now that like he's helping her carrying her bags, or pushing it at least. And so they're like walking along, they're talking, and we see now that like right away Amon here, he could not believe that like Mato was expecting her. But when he notices how heavy her luggage is, and he looks down, we just see this like blood coming from it. So obviously that right there is a red flag. And we see now the woman finally exposed to herself, and she actually like reveals that that she is a Ghoul. But that right there was obvious. Now what really surprised me was that Amon here, he cannot actually bring out his quinque, and I'm not sure if that maybe because it was like damaged or something, because we did see that he used that to block off that woman's cogony. So maybe it got damaged through that. But I was just so surprised that like it would not open. But we have Amon here coming for the save, and he takes her out, but we can't see the damage he inflicted on her because it was censored. But I do believe that like he took out her head or so. I'm not really sure. But we did see that like that Mato, he had the same quinque that he had when he took on Jason. Obviously that was the one that like Jason destroyed. So it goes to show you that that Mato here had it for a while, and that right there it was a bit surprising. But now we see that this right here, it was the first time that Mato told Amon, whether he loses an arm or a leg, he must fight. And those words, they were like with him to this day. But now we go to present time, and we see that like that Amon, he was actually on his way to visit Mato's grave, but he ran into an old acquaintance. Now I do believe the difference here was a guy that we saw in the flashback or so. But this guy right here, he definitely goes back with Amon because he called him a crybaby, and we saw that like even Amon here for like turning up some. But obviously Amon cared about Mato because he like called him his pride, and so it like goes to show how close they were. But after that, we actually go back to Kaneki, who's obviously working in a shop. But we see now that Hinami, who was like running at the sky, she now come to him, and that disguise right there, it was a bit too much, but it doesn't matter, because obviously she still has to hide, because Amon does know who she is. But Amon's main target here is the rabbit, and not really Hinami. So Hinami is safe. But we see now that Hinami, she is slowly but surely she getting back to normal, and we actually learned that like she's now living with Touka. And we see that at first, it was still hard on her, but we saw this bird. Now I forgot his name, but this bird right here, it was injured and it fell onto Touka's patio, and Hinami found it and took care of it, and now they're like nursing it back to health, and now Hinami is on her way to like get this bird cage for it. But Touka here, for some reason, she is not fond of birds, so she really does not want that bird, to stay in her place. But it will be there at least, so Hinami, is keeping it. And so now when her and Yomo are walking, because obviously Yomo is the one, Yomo is probably the strongest ghoul at this point, at least in the 20th ward, and we see now that he dealt with Hinami, so obviously she'll be safe. But they passed that alley once again, and I just felt so bad for Hinami, but she is getting stronger, because we saw that even though she was shaking, I do believe she's crying as well, a little bit. We see now that she walked on, so that was just good at least. But then we go back to Amon, who went to the grave, and after he left, we have this woman, walking to the graves, and I have no idea who she is. Obviously, we have no idea, and we don't even see her face really. But I do feel like we should keep an eye on her, because why else would they show her if it wasn't for some important reason? But then we go to Kaneki, who is still trying to find more information about Rize, because obviously, Rize is still alive somewhat. She did take over Kaneki and attack Yomo, and at least this time they didn't invert the colors, with the censorship. They just darkened it some. So even though it was annoying, it wasn't as bad as it was last time, because the inverted colors, to me, that's just stupid. If you're going to do that, they might well just show it normally, because the inverted colors you can still see it, but it doesn't matter. We see now that Rize, nobody really know anything about her. This girl, she appeared out of nowhere, and it's just crazy. And crazy, to be honest, that she did that. But obviously, Kaneki, he is somewhat worried, because he does want to know more, because Rize took over him twice now, and that right there could be a problem. But we see now that nobody here know anything about her. But if he goes to the 11th ward, then that right there can answer a lot of his questions. So now we have him leaving the bar, and he's now walking, and we see now that somebody had bumped into him, and I thought maybe it was Kaneki's fault, but it seemed that the person that he bumped into, it was on purpose, because this guy, he like a thief, and he actually took Kaneki's wallet. And we see now that he looking through everything, but the one thing that he wanted, which was money, Kaneki is broke. And that right there was hilarious, because we just saw some loose change just fall out, and that right there was hilarious to me. But then we go back to the bar, and we see now that Kaneki, even though he was pickpocketed, he's not that worried about it. But we see Hide, and Hide is a character that I kind of forgot about, because to me, I feel like it's been forever since we've seen him. So I am glad that he's back, and we see that Hide, this guy is just he is really freaking smart. It's crazy, how quick on the uptake he is, because this guy is figuring out so many different things. And we see now that at one point Kaneki was getting worried, and the reason why he has such an interest in ghouls, now he said it's because of a book, but we saw now that when he left, obviously Hide is hiding something. Now I'm not sure what it is. Now for Hide to be a ghoul, that right there, it would be a shock, but for some reason I just don't believe it. But then we go to Kaneki, who is still working, and we see now that things in the 11th ward, they are picking up, because we see now that when Amon went back, it seemed that two people will replace him. One of them are a very good acquaintance of Amon, and the other one is this newbie who's actually a pretty big fan of Amon's. And so now we see that Amon here, he is now getting transferred to the 11th ward for this special group, and we have no idea what the group will be. But then we go back to Kaneki, and he's talking with Nishio, and the guy that kept calling him the demon ape or devil ape, because apparently that right there was his name when he was some kind of wild ghoul. But now we learned that all the ghouls in the 11th ward, they're now working together, and they're killing all the investigators, and that right there it was a bit surprising. But then we have Nishio, or Nishi. He asked about Touka, and we learn now that she's alone with that bird. And we see that she does not she does not like birds too much. So Kaneki actually goes to check on her, and when he does, we see now that Touka have a lot on her mind. And now when Kaneki goes in there, but and they start talking. It's like mainly about their families, and we learned that like Kaneki's father died, but before he like even remember him, and he also lost his mother in grade school. And then we get the flashback of Touka's, and we learn more about her past, and we see now that like she actually had this like little brother. And they found this bird together, and their father was there as well. And so their dad was like taking care of the bird while Touka and her brother went out to get some food for it. And we see that like they were getting worms, but her brother didn't like that. So Touka, she was like a tomboy even back then, because she told her brother to like man up, and that right there was hilarious. And so they got all these all these worms, and they took it back to their dad. And her father was saying that like Touka is like a tomboy, just like her mother. And her brother is like him because he also doesn't like worms. And so now we like kind of got this like cute flashback going on, and I was wondering, what happened to her brother, because to me it seemed like Touka had lost her family, like from the way she was thinking on that. So I thought maybe her brother was dead. But then we go like to the end of the episode where we have Hide. He's like drinking coffee, and we see now that like these two men, they are now walking past him, and they bring up Rize, and we see one of them, they're like cracking their fingers, and obviously that right there is Jason. And so right now we go to the other ghouls who have now assembled together, and we see now that they're like kind of the 11th ward, because I do believe that right there is where Jason is from. They're all like invading the 20th ward because they want Rize. And then we have like this one ghoul who I do believe is their leader, and that right there turns out to be Touka's brother. So now he's back, and that right there, like that right there, I cannot wait to see this. I cannot wait to see their reunion, because it does seem to be like a serious fight, might break out. And that right there was like pretty much the episode. But I also want to like touch up on the ending right there, because like that right there was kind of like a little flashback of when Yuta like had his own gang, and when he fought Yomo, and both of them like actually even. So that right there, I kind of wish they would like tie in more with the anime itself than the ending. But that right there, that right there was like very interesting, and Yuta looked so much different back then. It was hilarious. But the episode, like I said, it was good. So I'm probably going to give it probably an 8 out of 10. But of course, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this. And as always, please do not forget to like the video and subscribe, because that really helps me out. And you guys take it easy, and I will see you all next time.